question is, could the Browns be without Odell Beckham Jr.? Out of an abundance of caution, he was sent home from practice yesterday because of an illness. They said he did not test positive for COVID-19, but obviously that's one we'll be keeping a close eye on. Dianna, I know you're covering that game this weekend, and I know you have some notes on the conversation the owners had, because there's all this, people will remember the moment with Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph, and what were they doing?
Yeah, there's so much drama going into this game because of what we saw last season. We heard Kareem Hunt say we're playing this game for Myles Garrett. And I was told ownership from both teams had a phone conversation this week to set the tone of what they want this game to be, which will bleed into the coaching staff and then, of course, into the locker room, to just make sure that there's control, that this is just a rivalry, this is just a football game, and there's not going to be any revenge. And that message has been sent. And we heard both Kevin Stefanski and Mike Tomlin talk about this matchup here, and they seem to be pushing out and making sure it is just about football and nothing else. So
it has been 16 years since the Browns went into Pittsburgh and won a game. Ryan Clark, is this year they do it? Will they shock the world, upend the division, and beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh?
No, they're not. And I'm actually quite disgusted. With you, Greeny, that you said this is a rivalry. Well, what usually happens in rivalries, and Bart's been a part of rivalries, and so has Nico, like sometimes the other team wins, and that's not what this has been. And if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're hoping at 4-1 on a 4-game winning streak. This is the opportunity to win in Pittsburgh, but I don't think it is. And I think that's because right now one team is feeling fat and happy, and that's the Cleveland Browns. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though 4-0, when you get kind of the attitude around that building, they feel like they have to play better. This is a team that entered this season with Super Bowl aspirations, and quite frankly, they haven't played up to that level, especially defensively. So if you're a defense with Cam Haywood, TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, and you understand that your job first is to stop the run and then get after Baker Mayfield, that's the order in which you're doing it. That's the order in which Mike Tomlin and Keith Butler are teaching it. And I think that this team has something to prove. And what better way to go out and prove it and exact a revenge that the owners are talking about you can't exact than beating some team's butt that you feel wronged you last year. And I think that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers come out and do this weekend.
You are right. It's not a rivalry. It's a hammer and a nail don't have a rivalry. They have a relationship. Rob Ninkovich, who's the most important player on the field in this game Sunday?
Yeah, so the most important player for me, I think, is Myles Garrett. And if you're the Steelers, you got to make sure that you take care of him early with a back chipping him or a tight end staying in. He leads the NFL in pressure, and if you're Ben Roethlisberger, you do not want to have him breathing down your throat. Big Ben has 101 career fumbles. I mean, think about that stat, 101 career fumbles. So anytime we were playing the Steelers, we would say, look, let's get around Big Ben. He's going to try and make a play. So when he tries to stand in the pocket and take on guys and have somebody around his legs and still throw the ball down the field, that's when you can get the ball out. And I've been able to do it myself. When he is in the pocket trying to make a play, he's vulnerable for a strip sack. So for the Steelers to come out of here with a victory, they have to make sure that Myles Garrett does not create a strip sack, get to the quarterback often like he has been this whole season.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.